Week.
Okay, well, I don't have access to show notes, so could you just do it and we'll move on?
Yep,
Thank you.
I'm hitting the go live button.
I hit the go button live a lot.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Pretty much every time I hit the go button, I'm live.
Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio. This is episode 315 for August 1st, 2019. I am one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm another one of
I'm
your
here.
hosts, Kelly.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't make the notes either.
Well, if you had gone right away, I wouldn't have cut you off. I was like lightly waiting. Okay, she's not going. It must be me. The second I open my trap, you jump in.
Yeah, it's you.
And I'm Trevor.
Hello, Trevor. I'm Kelly.
Hello.
Now, Trevor, you're on some sort of phone apparatus over there, so I guess this is mobile data. So, do you want to jump right in, do what you did in Guns this week, and then we'll jump back to the start and do the rest of the show?
Yeah, let's do that. I'm away from home. I'm in Quebec City attending the 2019 IPSC Canadian National Championships, and I'm actually hanging out right now in Captain Andy's Airbnb. So we'll make this short and sweet, or my version is short and sweet anyway. So backing up to last week, last Thursday we were on the air after day one of the pre-match, and Gallon joined us and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So had I blown up my gun yet by that episode?
Yes, you had. You had destroyed your not destroyed. You had had a case head problems and then some side blowouts with your FX9.
Right. So we carried on, finished the pre-match the next day using. No, the next day would have been Friday, so the pre-match was all over. Yeah, so Friday we reset the range, and then we did a reception night. We went live with the main match on Saturday, and I decided at some point that I was going to. I decided at the last minute to shoot PCC, and then I decided at the last minute to shoot Classic because PCC is a discipline, not a division. The PCC match is actually an entirely different match from the pistol match, so you can shoot both.
Mm-hmm.
There was some grumblings about that, and I can appreciate that, but you don't shoot the stages the same way. Um, but regardless, I think going forward, we'll copy Ontario's little rule that they come up with, and I'm not sure if this is official or not, but anyway, if you're going to shoot both PCC and pistol, and the match director can accommodate you, you shoot pistol first because it is primarily a pistol match, and you'll shoot PCC second, and I think that's fair. That way, no one has a chance at learning how to game the stages or any do-overs. You know what I mean? So the way we did it was Jim Smith, myself, Muffin, the two guys from Wolverine Supplies who were major match sponsors. We were all supposed to be in like our own sponsorship squad, but Jim realized that us bumping in five guys at a time would slow down the match too much. So we found a spot for Alex Burdett from X Mental, the two Wolverine guys. We squatted them into squads, and they just shot the match regularly. No speed pass per se. But Jim and Muffin and I were on a speed pass, so we would show up with our own tablet, our own printer, and cut in wherever we could, and then go on our way. Muffin and Jim were there. They had to wait for the walkthrough, right? Well, I didn't need to wait for the walkthrough because I had already done it in PCC, and I wrote the walkthrough, so I was done really quickly. So what Jim and I did was I shot morning on Saturday and then was the range master for the afternoon. He shot in the morning on no, yeah, he shot in the afternoon Saturday and then in the morning on Sunday. So whenever he was shooting, I was range master. Whenever I was range master, he was shooting. So that worked really, really, really well. The match went off without a hook. There was a bottleneck that happened at the host stage. Not as bad as previous years. It's really hard to avoid a bottleneck there. It wasn't horrific. We had one squad that was taking longer than the other squads, and that kind of contributed to some of the lag, if you will, in the flow. But overall, it was amazing. The banquet was excellent. We had a really good prize table. We gave away like 7 guns. So I brought Gallon to the podium with me because the way I was going to give out the guns was I selected a gun and then I took the tablet and I hit random on the tablet. And whoever's name came up first got that gun. And then I went to the next gun, hit random again. Whoever's name came up first, you get how this. You see how this goes. So FX9, first gun. I hit the tablet. Dude's name comes up. Call it 3 times. He's not here. You got to be in it to win it. So I don't care if you're out having a cigarette or if you're, we're moving on. But anyway, I just think he was not at the banquet. So Vlad Clue, sorry man, you could have won an FX9, but you weren't there. We hit the tablet again, and my name came up, and this is why I had, this is why I had Gallon, right? This is why I had Gallon with me. I had Gallon reading the names off the tablet, so he clowned around and made the most of it as long as he could, and I was like, read the name or I'm going to stab you. So it was my name, and I immediately just went, I'm not taking it. I'm giving it to other Trevor. So other Trevor was sitting in front of me.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Yeah, so I won a gun and I immediately gave it to other Trevor because, who deserves it more than him? He busts his ass all the time and has had a challenging year and a half. So, a little something for him. He deserves it. So
It would have been nice to replace the one that was broken, though.
I was gonna say.
It's completely repairable, right? There's just 2 9mm bullets stuck just outside the chamber. We're going to do that hydraulic grease trick, and we'll be fine. Other Trevor has assured me I can borrow the upper for the next couple of matches, so that's good. So it goes around, comes around. I give him the gun, but I'm borrowing the upper. So. So then we had an amazing after party on Sunday at Muffin's place. He set up picnic tables and a barbecue and a fire pit. And Wes won PCC and celebrated a lot. He really put as much effort into his celebration as he did his match. And there may even be a meme to commemorate the celebration that I'll share it with you guys later. Wes didn't see it until like yesterday.
Was that just because he couldn't see, or because he didn't get it?
It took a day he drank a lot of moonshine. It took a day and a half for his vision to return. So he took a big gulp of moonshine. I went, "Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes."
Oh.
Yeah. It took about 12 minutes before he finally popped. And but then Paul Barrow from Newfoundland, the more moonshine he got, I think the soberer he got, like his accent started to go away. You could understand what he was saying. And yeah. So
he got more relaxed.
Yeah, exactly. It was an excellent party. Tracy from the CCFR attended the match, put in a booth. She was our keynote speaker and just knocked it out of the park as always. She got a much deserved standing ovation. It was just awesome. Her and Colin attended the after party as well. We set the tables up in a U shape, and we all sat around the tables, and we stuck Gallon in the middle, and we had story time with Gallon. And it was like having our own personal stand-up comedian. He gets better and better and better every time he does story time with Gallon. None of this could ever be aired or recorded or broadcast anywhere. It was really, really good though. So anyway, that was Monday. Sunday, that was Sunday night. Most of Monday was spent recovering. Tuesday, Muffin came to my place and we jumped in the truck, went to the post office. My Calgary Shooting Center pro staff jerseys arrived just in time to go to the match. So
those are nice.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Those are really nice. Yeah.
So you can check pictures of those out, I think, on my personal Facebook, the show's Facebook, and the show's Instagram, where I speak in the third person. Tim Thomas thought that was kind of hilarious. He goes, "Did you just literally post in the third person? Trevor's going to represent." It's like,
Yep.
Only on our social media do we write in the third person. Anyway, we went to Quebec City. So we're at the Nationals, and things are a little bit different this year. Hats off to IPSC Quebec. This is the first time in IPSC Canada's history where IPSC Quebec has hosted the Canadian Nationals. The Quebec CFO was incredibly hard on IPSC Quebec, so much so that he actually followed them to Ontario one time to watch the match they put on in Ontario, and then criticized them for it. Yeah, you're shaking your head, Adriel, but this is the thing. This is how militant the IPSC or the Quebec CFO is. He complains what the IPSC Quebec shooters do in other provinces. That is like just the epitome of anti-gun.
So you're doing it at a base.
Correct. So
yeah, have to.
So Valcartier.
Yeah.
No impact there?
What?
No impact on you there? CFO
No.
has no
Yeah,
jurisdiction
see,
on the base.
that's right. There's no jurisdiction on the base. Have you ever shot without a backstop? It's incredibly liberating. We're literally, the stages are set up on the edge of a cliff, and you just shoot off into space. The bays are divided by sea cans, so it's just like it's almost like yeah, it's like shooting off the edge of a cliff, man. And the bays are divided by sea cans. It's the coolest thing ever.
Huh.
Your rounds just go away. They're just away. It's like it's a tank range, right?
Yeah.
The backstop is a mountain 4 kilometers away.
Yeah.
So that's cool. What's not cool is the movement on the base is incredibly restricted. So we need to drive to the base golf course, park there, and get a shuttle bus to and from the ranges. And there, it's better now. But on the first day, they were supposed to run every hour. Poor Jeremy Kane, he left at 10 o'clock in the morning to go see the stages, and he spent all day trying to get back. He didn't get back until 4:30 in the afternoon. We were in line to get on the bus. He's like, "No, get out of the line. Get out of the line now." I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "One, the stages aren't that impressive. You don't need to go study them. It's fine. And two, it's 40 minutes on a hot, unair conditioned school bus on a dirt road through the woods. Like, get out of the line." So I'm like, well, Jeremy's a pretty excitable guy, not unlike myself. Maybe I don't know, take this with a grain of salt. And then one of the IPSC Ontario shooters that I know pretty well, who I know to be a very reasonable, easygoing, he's like, "No, get out of the line. Trust me." I'm like, "All right, I'm out. I'm out of this line." So one of the cool things they came up with is they give us this pass card that's on a lanyard, and we're supposed to get scanned every time we get on the bus and every time we get off the bus to make sure that all the heads are accounted for. Yeah, that lasted one bus trip. Now they're not scanning anybody. But on it is your schedule, where you shoot, when you shoot, and when you work. It's a cool thing. So yeah, so we shot yesterday afternoon. So we get in here on Tuesday night. We go to the golf course to register and check in and stuff, get our little swag bag, which is always very nice. Thank you to the sponsors. And we go back to the hotel. We don't shoot until the afternoon of Wednesday. So we shoot Wednesday afternoon. We're off today. We shoot Friday morning, and then our work day is Saturday. Sunday is supposed to be the shoot off in the banquet, and we were going to check out of the hotel on Monday morning and drive home. And we're like, you know what? Nope. We're only 5.5 hours from home. We're taking all our stuff to the golf course with us on Saturday morning, and as soon as the bus shuttle gets us back, we're going home. We're driving back to Kelton. We're going to get home on Saturday night instead of Monday morning.
Good idea.
So, yeah. The stages are okay. They're good. Some of them are kind of interesting. It's not a hoser match. It's not a super accuracy match. There's some crazy movers. They've basically made disappearing targets not disappear. They appear, and then they disappear, and they say they're visible at rest. There's like an inch of alpha visible, so like no one's shooting at them. And then they've also made sure to put a penalty target directly in front of it. So if you do shoot at it, you're going to hit the penalty target, right? So it's a disappearing target that doesn't disappear. It's a level of evil that I've yet to aspire to, but I might have to copy a little bit of it to try and elevate the frustration level of the competitors in my next match. I'm kidding. I don't think it's something that I would ever do. Make it disappear or don't, but don't leave so little alpha that you'll, penalize a guy when he tries to make it up, right? So either you're going to take the miss because you didn't hit it when it exposed itself, or you're going to try and make up the hit and get a penalty. Or you're going to penalize yourself by taking so much time to make the shot that you've destroyed your score anyway. So I find it's a very punitive.
Everyone's shooting the same match, though. Everyone's got the same rules applied to them, right?
Yep, that's right. But it's definitely a lot harder on the C class, D class, and even some B class shooters. It's pretty discouraging for them.
Well,
so
tough.
You made well, it's true, but I mean, you made a disappearing target that doesn't disappear. So you're getting misses and then penalties anyway. That's my only criticism. And as you said, it's the same for everybody. So it is what it is, right? Muffin and William and I are in the same squad, and I burned a couple of stages to the ground, but that's about it. Everything else, first stage, I got popper screwed. I hit the popper in the calibration zone where it meets the stem, full diameter hit, and it didn't go down. Call for calibration. Then calibration officer bullseyes it. He hits it at the top edge and it just slowly falls. So I got popper screwed on that one. It should have gone down where I hit it.
That's such a funny thing that's a thing in IPSC. That you guys make the poppers so that they only fall if they're only hit by something with a power factor of X.
Stop. No, that's not true. They're supposed to fall no matter where they're struck. That's in the rules. However, when they're initially calibrated,
with the 9mm 124 out of a X barrel pistol, right?
They need to be calibrated with sub power factor ammo between 120 and 125.
Mm-hmm.
So at SummerSlam, we set them up so that they go down when hitting the calibration zone with 122, 123 power factor ammo. But when I adjust them by hand and I tap them to see how sensitive they are, I don't tap the calibration zone. I tap the stem. I set it up so that if it's hitting the stem, it goes down.
Yeah, that's what we do in 3-gun is we just set it up so if you hit the plate, it'll go down. It will withstand wind. And that's about it.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, so I finished the day, I think, with 3 mics. But there were 2 stages where on the unload and show clear, I looked at the target closest to me and there were no hits in it. I tried to take them on the move and had mics. So I was like, we're 3 seconds into the commands when I realized that I had mics and I didn't want to take the mics. So I shot the target. So I didn't have mics. So that happened twice.
Ooh.
Yeah, the reshoot gods got me pretty good on one stage. There's one of those despairing targets that doesn't disappear. Mm-hmm. First, you have to hit the popper on the left and then the stomp pad on the right. You have to do both or it doesn't appear. So there's a static target pretty about, I don't know, 10 yards from the stomp pad. So I'm trying to shoot that on the move on the way to the stomp pad. And then you point your gun where the target's going to appear and you hit the stomp pad and it appears and disappears really quickly. And then shoot the rest. Now the rest were quite a ways out there, between 12 and 15 meters. And I got all alphas on those. And then I look at the target that I tried to take on the move. This was on my reshoot run, and there was no hits in it, so I had to make up the hits. Anyway,
can you turn your phone horizontal? Is that a thing? Do you have the technology?
Look.
Oh, yeah, much better. Yep.
Well, now you tell me. I could have did that a while ago, but I didn't know it was a thing. So, there. How's that?
Beautiful.
All right. So yeah, that's about all I've got for the Nationals. We go back and we shoot tomorrow morning, and then we work all day Saturday. I think we have 7 or 8 stages to do on Friday, so we should be out of there fairly early. We got to get up at the crack of stupid because we got to be at the golf course for 7 a.m. to get the bus for 7:30. So,
how far away is it?
It takes us about 25 minutes to get to the golf course, and then the bus ride is another 25 minutes for sure. So, we are going to do SummerSlam next year. That was decided. Literally while I was standing at the podium, I had been saying no SummerSlam because we've got a big range inspection coming up. Our 5-year certification period is over. We got to rebuild a lot of the bays, and with the Nationals coming up, I wanted to spend the time getting the range ready, getting ready for the Nationals, and Jason wasn't having it. He's like, "No, man, we're doing SummerSlam." So, literally while I was at the podium, I said, F it," which I don't swear when I'm at the podium, but I said, F it, we'll do it. So it's going to be SummerSlam 14 will be 16 stages, 12 squads of 15 shooters, and the dates will be the July 18th weekend. 2 weeks before Nationals, because if I do it this close to Nationals, it's too much for Jason and I to then finish on Sunday and jump in the car on Monday to drive to Toronto for a registration day on Tuesday. So gives us some breathing room. It also makes it easier on my preferred range master, the president of the National Range Officer Institute, to be there. So yeah, that's another thing. SummerSlam 14 is happening. Okay. A couple other things, and then I'll hit the road. We went to some gun stores today, and while I was checking out some reloading components, a guy comes around the corner and says, "Excuse me, are you Trevor from?" And he's like, "Do I say this next part?" And I'm just looking at him, waiting to see what he's gonna say. So, "Are you Trevor from Slamfire?" I'm like, Yes, I am. So here I am in Quebec City shopping, and some guy comes up to me and asks me, So his name is Jeremy, and he used to live in New Brunswick in Edmundston, and it's quite possible that maybe he knew McClatchy. So I don't know if you recognize my face or my voice, but anyway, Will was like, "What just happened?" Jason says, "You're not used to hanging around with a superstar, are you?" Quite sarcastically in my head. Yeah. So
very famous in the gun community. Go to the gun shop, you might be recognized.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're an F-list celebrity.
Yeah.
Now,
Very
you're
good.
an F-list. That makes Adriel and I, what, Z?
G for guns.
G for gun, yeah. Rated G. Adriel's rated G. So he described the store as fuddy and then walked away. So shout out to you, Jeremy. Thanks for coming up and saying hi. I had one IPSC shooter. I was hanging out at the Freedom Ventures booth, and one of the classic shooters from Ontario said, "Oh, I love the show. You guys are hilarious." So I reach in my bag and I pull out that bag of swag that Adriel sent me, and I pull out some stuff for him. And I was like, I brought this whole bag of stuff for the one guy who would come up to me and say he listens. So I gave him a couple of patches and a sticker. Oh, and Kyle Marconi and Morgan Swan are also listeners. Kyle Marconi's been listening to us since forever, like all the way back to Canadian Reload Radio. This is the guy his father bought him his first gun, and it was an M1 Garand. So anyway, he's come a long way. He's out of school. He's got a job now, and he's building his gun collection very quickly. Yeah. So he came over. Him and Morgan came over and checked out the gun room with a guy named Joe I had never met before, an RO and instructor from Ontario. So it was cool. We had them over on Monday morning before they left for Quebec. Anyway, I get to a stage and Kyle's the RO. So I walk up and I put my hand out and shake his hand. There's a patch in it. I'm like, "Here, man, this is to make sure I have a good run."
Bribery.
Yeah, and he had to make a call on the target too. He got the overlays out and everything, and I got the alpha. So maybe my patch paid off. I don't know.
Did he pull up the jumbo marker, the jumbo Sharpie, to help you out on that one?
No, he didn't go that far. So anyway, you remember us talking about the 28 gauge Cooey that I bought. That I was a little disappointed to see that it was a Cooey, but it had Winchester written on it. And then I found out that these are actually, in fact, more collectible because there's only a small number of them that have Cooey 84 and Winchester written on them. So I'm in this gun shop today, and there's a 410 on the wall, and it's the same thing. It's a Cooey Winchester Model 84 in 410 this time.
Did you buy it?
It's kind of rough. Yeah, of course I bought it. It was only 120 bucks. It was 120 bucks with 15% off. So I got the gun and a combo trigger lock for $135 out the door. Now, buying a gun in Quebec was a little unnerving. It's a lot like the rest of Canada, only more paperwork and stuff. So he gave me like the registration paperwork. He's like, but when you get back to New Brunswick, throw this out the truck window as soon as you cross the border because no one cares. And so yeah, Jason was waiting outside with Will, and I come out the store walking down in the middle of Quebec City with a gun in my hand. He's like, "Yeah, it wasn't obvious at all either the way they wrapped it. You couldn't tell it was a shotgun at all." So anyway,
so
yeah,
you've got a little Cooey collection going now, eh?
Yeah, now not only do I want all the 84s, I want all the Winchester marked 84s too, right? So
I mean, they're $100 each, so.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Oh, a couple other things. One, I paid off my Modern Sporter, so I should have that by the end of August or beginning of September. And two, Maccabee Defense has done it again. They made an announcement on Instagram. I don't know when they made the announcement, but I saw it today for the first time. Yeah. It was today. They are coming. Well, you're probably going to cover this new gun stuff, but I'm just super excited about it. So I'll let you cover new gun stuff, but let me say again, I'm super excited about it. So,
was that one of the secrets that you knew prior to, like, you did the tour of Maccabee Defense, didn't you?
Maybe.
Yeah, you were very good at keeping the secret.
It's three secrets actually.
Okay, we got two more coming.
You only told me two.
What?
No, this was the third one you never got told. So. Anyway, I've reached out to Wyatt again and invited him to come on to discuss it. Right, like he knows that we want to interview him, but I mean the man works more than anything else. So
yeah, it's cool looking, very spacey. I'll pull up the video later.
Please, yeah, it's very, 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 very cool. So anyway, something awesome to look forward to on the Canadian market yet again. So. All right, guys, thanks for letting me join you for a short little update. And I'm looking forward to being home next week and getting back to our regularly scheduled program.
All right. Good luck.
You kids have fun. Be good.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
I was gonna hang up on him.
I think you have to, right?
I think it's required.
Awesome.
Okay, let me pull it up.
I'm jumping back to where we should be.
All right, let's do that.
What We Did in Guns this week is brought to you and us by the Calgary Shooting Centre, Canada's premier firearms retailer. Today they have 10% off some Swiss firearms because today is Swiss National Day.
Yeah, but what happens if people are listening to this tomorrow?
Oh well, listen to it tonight, I guess.
You lose.
Yeah, they've got some K31s on for $3.99.
There you go.
That is quite a bit less than they usually are. Mismatched, mind you, but still $3.99. K11s rack grade $4.29. G11 rack grade $3.59. I don't know what a G11 is. G96 11s for $3.59, and G96 mismatched for $2.80. So, yeah, those are get after it. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do?
In guns?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I should talk about that stuff. I showed that Ruger PCC last week. I went and shot that, and it was fun.
How'd you like it?
I like it a lot. There's a lot to like shooting that gun. It's
fun.
I'm gonna say something. The magwell is super loose and like wobbly, and I love it. I love it so much because you can just ram a mag in there and it'll just take it. It'll work. It's gonna get in there. And it'll drop free. It's very nice to use like that. I would say that it's made for iron sights, and if you run a red dot on it, you need like a cheek rest or something like that. And the teardown is real weird, but it's very compact. Like it's got like a 1-inch travel on it, and that's pretty much it.
Right. It's fun to shoot.
It is a fun gun to shoot, yeah. PCC, light recoil. It's got a dead blow weight in the bolt, which is I don't think I've seen one of those before, and that's a very interesting way of building a rifle. I shot a bunch of 22.
Yeah. Why did you shoot a bunch of 22?
I'm still digging through that ammo test of thousands and thousands of rounds and hundreds of targets.
Do you need more? 22?
No. I need more targets. I need more time. I don't need more 22. I set it in my AR too. I changed the forend on my AR. Oh, I should bring that out. Yeah, maybe later. Maybe later. Once you're doing your thing, I'll go grab it. But I got this other handguard on it, which is quite a bit skinnier than my old one. I put it all together and I ran some American Eagle ball ammo through it, and it was shooting like 1/2-inch groups at 50 with a red dot. So good. So I set it in. I zeroed it at 50, which should be pretty good for long range. And then I went over to the long range and I shot a mag and I left because I was hitting everything. 200, 300, the little 6-inch square plates, 500, the bigger plates, obviously, but still all just with a red dot. And I was just hitting everything. So good enough. I packed up and left. Let's see here. I mailed out a bunch of Slamfire radio patches, so those are in the mail. For real in the mail. Yep. I'm gonna go shoot 100 gophers in the face this weekend. Because it's the weekend coming up, so I'm gonna go do that.
Right. It's long weekend. Long weekend in Alberta as well.
Not for me, because like we mostly have American clients, so I'm working on Monday. Whatever.
Okay. Whatever. I did talk to Random Dave. He says that he's in Calgary right now, and that he's being held hostage by prairie dogs.
Prairie dogs. He needs an air gun.
Well, I told him that I would tell you, and then you could bring the Norenko down, and it's just
just lay waste. That Norenko is so good. Yep.
Yep.
And then I've been making slings for Maple Seed. I've been toying around with some different styles, and I think I got the style. Here, let me just pull this out. What do you think of? Yeah. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. So like these are just these plastic buckles. Yeah. And this is an ISSC Mark 12 that Blue
Right.
Line sent to me to test and review. Apparently, they've changed a bunch of the internals on these things to improve reliability and whatnot. So
Good, because yeah, if you're bringing them to a maple seed, you're going to have to switch it out to something else. Just saying. What do you got on the front? So, what are you attaching it to on the front? Okay.
this is just one of those HK clips.
Yeah.
And that's because there's like a little eyelet there for it. So just, yeah,
Easy.
easy peasy. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I'm getting a whole pile of sling swivels for studs. These are just the HK clips on here for now. But yeah,
It works. It works.
yeah, it works.
And it's long enough, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
So I'm gonna go shoot 100 gophers with this, I think.
Okay.
And I think
let me know how it goes.
I'm gonna shoot the Maple Seed Challenge targets. You've got some new ones out for this month. Am
Yep.
I cutting into your what you did in guns?
No.
I'm gonna shoot those. I'm gonna shoot like
Okay.
4 of those targets. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think
That's it?
about it for me. One of the things I noticed online, it was kind of bugging me, was I've been noticing on like Facebook, Reddit, and CGN all people giving advice when they don't know at all what they're talking about, and it's kind of bugging me.
Yep.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of times where there was a CGN thread where people were asking about a firearm for a particular style of shooting. I'm going to make this general, so I'm not like throwing anyone under the bus. They were asking about a particular style of shooting with this one gun, and the one guy came in there like, "Oh yeah, that's the gun. You got to use that thing. I would definitely use that thing." I've never shot this style of shooting before, and I probably never will, but I definitely use this gun. And it's like, man, what are like you don't know your butt from a hole in the ground on this. You've never done it, and yet you're coming across recommending it. It's just, and then like on Facebook groups and some of the other things, just holster recommendations and gear recommendations has all been just like you see a couple of people commenting there who know what they're talking about and give a recommendation. There are twice as many people who don't know what they're talking about also giving recommendations, and that's kind of starting to irk me a little bit, just because like someone new to the sport is getting a whole bunch of like some of the most of the advice is okay, but every once in a while there's a real stinker in there with someone who likes something, but that something just isn't very good. It's not very good for the thing. It would be a misstep to buy it, and that's what they're getting recommended. So that's not really what I did in guns. It's more of like something I've noticed recently here that's bugging me.
Bugging you. Making Adriel mad, and Adriel doesn't get mad at anything, so it must be
Gophers. Oh yeah, just get furious with them.
So that's what the good thing is. Like, you can always say, go and listen to Slamfire, because there's you with 3-gun, there's Trevor with IPSC. Like, there's some people here with some knowledge, or we get people on that has some knowledge.
You've been to a couple of Maple Seeds, like you know what 22s are reliable and which ones aren't. Like,
yeah.
I would trust your opinion on that. Yeah.
So, yeah. Like I see it sometimes on even like our discussion page, and I just shake my head and go, no, please don't listen to them.
Yeah.
But it is, people are trying to be helpful.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yeah, they're trying to be helpful, and they're trying to I think a lot of people, like, it's part of wanting to believe that your own decision was the right one as well. I want to believe this is the right thing. I think it's the right thing. I think it's the right thing for you. And it starts, anyways. Neither here nor there. I'm going to go shoot a bunch of gophers in the face and shoot a Maple Seed target. Your new one is 20 hits in 2 minutes?
No, there's no time limit on it, but what you have to do is it's you're practicing your rifleman's cadence or your deliberate, controlled rapid fire. So basically, you want to actually hit the target or pull the trigger every time you cycle your breath. So yeah, there is no time limit on it. We're not saying you have to do it in 2 minutes, but 20 hits, you should be able to do it in 2 minutes. Should be able to do it a lot less than that, and should be pretty accurate if you're using all of your Maple Seed skills as well. So.
I think it's entirely doable to put that for 8.5 by 11 to put them all in the 5. No problem.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm expecting you to do Veebles.
I think. Well, I don't have 20 rounds in mags for my Norinco, but I got a 20 round mag right here, so I could try this one. No, it says 2 minutes. It says aim for sub 2 minutes.
Oh, aim for sub 2 minutes, but it says time limit. You do not have any time limit.
But I want to go fast. Gotta go fast.
Okay, remember, cycle with your breath.
Every 4 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Every 4 seconds. So, however fast you breathe.
Yeah. What is that? 4 by 20, 80 seconds, divided by 60, minute.
Should be able
15, minute 20.
Yeah, minute 20 should be.
So I'll squeeze out like 2 rounds per cycle, right?
No, every cycle, 1 round.
Okay.
Steve Knox is doing these. He's done the last couple. He's fantastic. I really like them. And then I like the names he gives them as well. And then we put a little bit of. So today's is, what is it? Every breath. And when I posted it today, I said every breath you take. Yes. I'll be watching you.
Yes. Very appropriate.
Yeah, I'll be watching you. Make sure you do it on every breath. Take a shot on every breath. Yeah. Well, I haven't been able to shoot the last one, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to shoot this one. Maybe I'll go to the range this weekend. It's 3 days, so I don't have to work one of them. Oh. So I'm hoping it's a long weekend, so maybe I'll get to the range this weekend. I didn't get there last weekend. Oh, by the way, are you done?
Yeah. Oh, this is standing. Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You'll be able to get them all in the V-Bowl, won't you?
5, not V-Bowl.
5?
Yeah. I'm gonna aim for 5 and probably give up and like crumple up the paper in a small ball, and like throw it in a gopher hole, and I'll just say I didn't shoot it. I'm joking around. I'll post it even if I do crappy.
That's what it's for. It's fun. You go out and you show what you can do. Maybe, well, we asked you to post your worst one and your best one. Some people just like posting their best ones, or some people like posting, all of them. And it's generally you can see where there's an improvement from your first one to your last one, because you're concentrating more on the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. How about you?
Yeah. Didn't get to the range last weekend, but what I did do is I spent the whole entire weekend. I was labeling, and I did it by hand because I don't have mail merge and all of the stickers and everything here. So I labeled 300 envelopes, and I stuffed them and stamped them and put the PGW patches into them. So those PGW patches were the limited edition patches. So they are out in the mail. The guy at the post office was very happy to see me, by the way. I came in with 2 very large sacks full of letters, and he's going, "Excuse me?" And I said, "Oh, they're all labeled with addresses. They're all stamped. They just need to go." And he's going, "Okay." He was a little worried that he'd have to actually process them all. So no,
he didn't. You're Santa Claus.
I'm Santa Claus. Well, technically I am, because I'm sending out patches. Mm-hmm. They're really cool patches too. Did you get one? Can't remember.
No. Too
fast. I know you didn't, because I looked at every single name that was on that list. Mm-hmm. Talk to me afterwards. Okay. So Kelly Kincaid is the Ontario Provincial Coordinators for Field Officers. For the CCFR. So I met with her on Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. We meet regularly. We meet to discuss some upcoming events, different things like Ladies' Day. We have a couple Ladies' Days that are happening in Ontario. We were talking about TACCOM, trying to plan some of that as well. And then we were talking about the Gunny Girl calendar too, because Kelly actually helps out with that too. So normally we meet. We try and do it once a week, but that doesn't happen. It usually ends up being once a month or so. So I drove downtown to Kingston. Downtown, if anybody's ever been here before, you know that the parking is absolutely horrible on the best of days. This was Tuesday at 5 o'clock downtown. Usually there is no parking whatsoever. But funny enough, the new the new marijuana store that's opened up, it has a high turnover rate for patrons. So I found a parking space right in front of it. Anyways, I parked right there, got in right away. But as I was pulling out, it has one of those pay machines where you can either pay by credit card or you can pay by coin. And it was 5 o'clock, and you only have to pay till 5:30. So I was just getting some coin out of my purse in the car, and some guy came up to my window and started banging on my window, and I'm going, what the hell? And I looked over, and he says, I really like your stickers on your car. Like, I had C71, and I had Freedom Firearms, and a couple of CCFR, and a couple of other stickers. And he goes, oh, I know you. And it was the guy. First of all, it's downtown Kingston. There's somebody banging on your window. That's never good. But it was actually a friend of Staffer Steve from the CCFR. This friend was somebody that attended the Kingston City Hall vote. That was in June. In June, he was there, met me, met Tracy. He actually spoke at the event, or sorry, the vote as well. And yeah, really, really nice guy. But he thought the stickers on my car were pretty cool, so he had to come over and knock on the window. So I don't know. It was kind of weird, but it was still kind of cool to say hi to him too. So it's nice to see him again. What else? Ladies' Days are going fast and furious. We have a bunch of them happening. So the CCFR is basically sponsoring a lot of Lady Day events. So it's places, clubs, ranges across the country are organizing these events, and CCFR is sponsoring them. Mm-hmm. And so I've been helping out with that. We have a bunch happening next month, and a couple in September as well. Been fast and furious with that, but I just wanted everybody to know, if their club is interested in hosting an event, just email me. So it's kelly.wheaton@firearmsright.ca, and I can probably help you out with that as well, get you some sponsorship for it. But let you know, for upcoming events, I've added some of those to the upcoming event section as well. So that's it. Oh, my dogs are barking. That's not my feet, it's my actual dogs. Okay.
All right, let's move on to upcoming events. Okay, so August 3rd and 4th is the 2019 BC Three Gun Championship at Lone Butte. Yep. August 3rd, there's also a Three Gun Nation match at Lethbridge Fishing Game, as well as a Three Gun Nation match at Campbell River. August 5th, there'll be a match at BTSA. August 10th, there'll be a match at... These are all three-gun matches, by the way. At Chaz and Cold Lake. August 11th, there'll be another one at BTSA. August 17th, there's going to be a match in Medicine Hat, Kamloops, and Peace River is also going to have a two-gun match. August 24th will be Cold Lake. And August 24th and 25th is also the UML. That's the United Multi-League District 15 Championship in Grand Prairie. So... that's a large two-day match in Grand Prairie. And I've been talking to Kyle from that match, as well as Everett from down south, and other guy starts with the P. Come on, Peter. Who is out of Saskatchewan, and these guys all run different rule sets with three guns. So hopefully we can get them to all come on to a show soon, and we can kind of go over what kind of rules we like and which ones we don't like, and let's just talk three gun. The next event here, did you put this one in? CCFR EOSC Ladies Day. Do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, I did put it in, and yes. CCFR EOSC Ladies Day event is happening on August 11th, and it's at EOSC Range, which is just outside of Ottawa. So it's $35, and this will allow you and by the way, it's just ladies, no men allowed. $35 will allow you to shoot pistols, AR, shotguns, and rifles. There'll be giveaways. There's going to be light refreshments as well. The event is actually almost sold out, so if you're interested, ladies, sign up. You can do that either on Facebook, or you can go to the Eventbrite link. You can search it through Eventbrite, or I provided the link here and we can put it in the show notes. The other one that I was going to tell everybody about was the Drumheller and District Shooters Association. It's going to host a Ladies' Day event on August 24th. Shooting is from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's going to be giveaways. They're going to actually have lunch too, which is awesome. The cost is $50, and you can register. You do have to register, pre-register, but then they also said that there can be some walk-ons too. So I don't know. If you would like to get more information about the event or sign up for it or what have you, there's an email link as well. It's ddsashooters@gmail.com. So email them or check out Facebook, because there's a posting on there as well. So you can get details there. Just wanted to let you know about both events. You do not need a PAL to attend the event. And also there's going to be one-on-one instruction for everybody at the event as well. So it's going to be safe, secure. Everybody's going to have eye and ear protection as well.
Cool. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a very neat. Did you talk to them about that event when you were down last time?
Yep.
Yeah.
You mean the Drumheller one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was there, I said, hey, they asked.
You should do.
So the president, so Terry, he's a huge fan of not only the CCFR, but Project Maple Seed, and also the Podcasters Charity Shoot. Had such a great time. He said, you guys come back anytime. He said, listen, we're having a Ladies' Day event on the 24th of August. You think you can get out here? And I went, probably not. I'm having I think there's 3 events on that particular day. So I said, no, I couldn't do it. But we're also looking at planning for next year as well. So we're going to do ladies events, but we're also looking at doing more maple seeds and lady seeds. And they just want us to stay a week, basically. So
and longer. Yeah.
Yeah, not happening, but a whole week. But I'm sure that we can stay a couple of days. Really, really huge supporters of the gun community. Such a nice range too. It's probably the most beautiful range I've ever seen.
Yeah, very picturesque. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. Why don't we move on to news? The first news item. I'm just gonna. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, Kelly. No, you can't. Whatever. The Hoogloo factory
burned down.
Yeah, started on fire. Yep.
That's sad news. So how bad?
Well, apparently all their stuff inside was okay. A couple people got sick, and there's some, smoke damage and whatnot to the roof. Well, not to the roof. The roof is pretty burned. But apparently it should be back up sooner or later. I don't know.
So they said the rifles or the
shotguns.
Yeah, they're okay though. I don't know if I trust something that's been through a fire. I actually wouldn't trust something that's been through a fire. But
it's case hardened, flame hardened. Apparently, it started
it's really flame hardened now.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see here. We've heard back from our rep at the factory, but he isn't sure where our guns were. We'll report back when he knows more. That's Prophet River reporting on that. So interesting.
Do you have one?
A Hoogloo?
Yeah.
I do not. Do you?
Nope. There's only one person that I know who has one. They're available at SFRC, but Summer Tracy's daughter has one. She loves it. So I don't have one. Maybe it's something we should talk about in our listener feedback, because I think somebody's asking about shotguns there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay.
The next one I have here is PAL renewal delays worry Sopuk. This was an MP, a Conservative MP, mentioning in a July 12th letter to Ralph Goodale that it's taking a long time, that he himself had issues renewing his PAL, and that we're creating some paper criminals here by taking so long. Let's see here. I don't know how long he said it took for him. He submitted his a couple months early. He received it with like a week or two to spare, and that sounds like a lot of time, but that's a week or two from becoming a criminal because you have guns in your possession and no license for them.
Right. Yeah. Don't you still have a 6-month grace period though?
I'm not sure.
Well,
I'm not sure.
that came into effect not this past January, but the January before, January
Mm-hmm.
1st, that the new legislation for that. So
Mm,
if it expires and if it expires, you have 6 months grace period.
yeah. I mean, the neat thing to do would be for them to just open the letters when they get them,
You think?
hand it off to some like data processing flunky to like type into the computer,
Yes.
and send the new license out.
Yeah. Now, there's some people who are getting them quite quickly, and
Now, yes, yeah,
there's other people who are saying no. I don't know what's the difference between mailing it and
the
renewing.
online. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then there's also different provinces as well. Some people are getting it quickly in, like, say, New Brunswick, whereas Ontario, you could actually send your children to college and still not have it in time.
Yeah, and I mean, like the one of the things that was mentioned here was that this is almost acting like another barrier to firearms ownership. Is oh yeah, we'll just make it take a long time and make it really painful and fill out paperwork. Who even does paperwork these days in paper?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. There
yeah.
was something else I wanted to talk about in what we did in guns.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so my father is somebody who is a huge gun collector. He has owned firearms. He's got some really cool ones and things as well. Up until recently, my brother was supposed to get everything, but now we're gonna like. I went to dinner on Sunday with my father, my stepmother, and my brother, and my brother said, "Thanks a lot. Now I'm going to have to fight my sister for all these firearms because my father, he's not old,
Hmm.
he's older, and he has to figure out what he's going to do." My stepmother was partaking in this conversation. She goes, "Well, if your father dies, I'm taking all the guns and I'm taking them down to the police station." And I said, "Oh, it almost got into a fight." Yeah. I said, "Well, no, you're not." I said, "First of all," I said, "you wouldn't be legally able to do that. The other thing is, no," I said, "my brother and I both are able to actually own these, especially if my father has some prohib as well. My brother has a prohib license too, so um, yeah, it wasn't good." And then, oh, it was just it's funny because she's so anti-gun and everybody else in the family is not that way. She said, "Well, you're not able to get them because I don't know if people are going to break into your home and steal them and commit crimes." And I'm going, "Really?" "How would somebody do that?" I said. She goes, "Well, how do you store them?" I said, "We have storage laws." I said, I said, "Is anybody breaking into your house and taking them and commit crimes?" "No." I said, "It's the same thing for me." And she
Hmm.
goes, "Well, I think that I'm going to," and I said, "No." I said, "If you start to take them down to the police, first of all," I said, "that's illegal and you can't do that. So we're going to have a talk. So don't worry." I think my father will figure it out. He still doesn't have a will, but he better get one soon. Just saying. But it was an interesting conversation around a dinner table. I'm going, like, I'm ready to roll with a 75-year-old woman.
I will fight you.
"I will fight you." And my brother's also going, "Why do I have to fight her now? Everything was supposed to come to me." I said, "No, it's not.
Not anymore.
Not anymore." Yeah.
Uh, Sweet.
Sorry. That was another conversation I had this week. I thought it was actually kind of funny, though. But that's how people think, especially older people.
Yeah, that's
They,
some real
they,
weird ideas. I'm gonna take these down to the police station. Why? Your kids can own this stuff legally.
well, no, she wants to take them because she doesn't want them in the house. And she says that she doesn't want any criminals to get them and use them against people and kill people.
Hmm.
That's literally what she said. And I'm going, "Are you kidding me?" And I said, "Well, right now," I said, "they're downstairs in a couple of safes." I said, "Is Dad taking them and killing people?" "No." So, your points are invalid right there.
Hmm.
So it's you know it is that type of thinking that we're battling every day. So that's why we have advocacy groups as well. But
Hmm.
and it's also the same thing. We also see it with people, especially who are elderly, right? Let's say it's predominantly the male will own the firearms, and when he passes away, the widow doesn't know what to do with them. She just wants to get rid of them, and will either call the police or call somebody and just get rid of them and not get paid for them, or
Gotta get paid. Gotta get your money.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good conversation.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Back to the news here.
Yep.
This isn't really a gun one, but it's kind of a gun one, so I wanted to just throw it up here. Gordon Ramsay sparks outrage by shooting a goat on his new Uncharted TV show as viewers brand him the worst.
Do you think he really cares? Like, seriously?
No. I'm actually kind of glad that he did. I mean, like, as a chef, you have to look at the sources of your food, and I think like taking your goat off of a hillside is definitely knowing where your food's coming from and you know what it was all about, right? So
the headline was that vegans and vegetarians were labeling him the worst ever. So
no, I think like meat eaters would label him as the worst too. I've seen this before.
It was just so I read the one with the vegans and vegetarians. So even meat eaters were labeled.
Absolutely, because
really?
Yes, absolutely, because meat eaters don't look at this at like a hunting as cruel because they're disconnected from their like what happens to actually get their meat.
Well, it's a little bit of education then.
I love all caps. All the all caps comments in here. I love that they call him the worst too. Anyways, yeah, I think I'm actually really glad that Ramsay did this because it normalizes what hunters do, which is taking their own game from the wild, and it's like you're not shooting a cow or a pig or something like that normally in a slaughterhouse. You're using like a captured bolt or whatever, but still like. It doesn't matter. You're still harvesting an animal, and yeah, I like that they're not hiding it and showing what it's all about.
Yep,
it's more real.
And then he goes and cooks it.
Yeah, it's like I did this. Now I'm gonna do that. I can't do this other thing. I can't actually eat a wild goat until I get one and kill it. Right? That's the whole part of it.
Yep.
Yeah. This next piece here, I don't know if I can open up Facebook and have it not show all the weird stuff that I subscribe to. Oh, I can. Sweet. Look at that.
Oh, dear. All the weird things you subscribe to?
I don't subscribe to anything weird. I just didn't want, like, all my I don't know, cousins' birthdays and that kind of thing showing up on the screen. Anyways, there's Facebook. So Cabela's has this thing where you, like, round up, like, or add some money or whatnot. So they're going to support the CUSF, who we've had on our show, the Canadian University Shooting Foundation. Yeah.
That's really cool.
So Cabela's is going to grant through their Canada Outdoor Fund. Support will come every time. Every cent goes to helping nonprofit organizations such as themselves at Cabela's. So think about that every time you round up your next purchase. They've asked me a couple times. I'm like, I don't know what this is all about. Now I do. It's this thing. It's CUSF. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's what it is doing is it's encouraging people to shop through them and donate that way. So it's very smart marketing.
This sounds horrible, but like one of the things that Cabela's as an American company does better than Wholesale Sports did in all their time in Canada was support local causes, because Wholesale didn't do any of this kind of stuff.
Yep.
I know that's horrible to say, but Cabela's is a better Canadian company than the Canadian company was.
Cabela's, we were able to get into Winnipeg directly because of Cabela's and somebody at Cabela's. So with Project Maple Seed, so it is a good company. And if you want to support us, go click on the link. Do you think? Yeah. Hey, we get a kickback, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's not rounding up.
No. We could do both. No.
We could.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next one I wanted to pop up. This one came across. I think it was on Reddit, or I saw it. There's actually a bunch of gun articles in the last week here, a whole whack of them. This one was funny because the title is not actually what the article is talking about. Yeah. Take a look at the title, Gun Violence, a Crisis in Toronto, Somali Mothers Group says. But then when you go on to read the article, that's not really what they're saying. They're saying that it is a crisis, but they're talking about community outreach programs and having the police more involved with the community and speaking with youth about guns and gangs and that kind of thing.
I think that what they're trying to do is prevent the gun violence in their communities, and those are some of the ways that they can do it.
Prevent violence and homicide. The gun
Correct.
violence part of it, where it says at the top here that gun violence is a crisis. Actually, they're talking more about like, no, it's this gang initiative and the fact that so many of their kids are getting involved in some of this stuff.
Gangs, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting, the editorializing on some of these different. Oh, it's CBC. That's why. I saw it on Yahoo News. Yeah. It's well, that makes sense. Here I was like, man, why is CBC or why is Yahoo editorializing this? Oh, it's because it's CBC source. That's why. Okay, that makes more sense.
It's overall, whether violence, gang involvement, break-and enters, drug dealing, whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go on some new gun stuff. This first one here, I put it's a full conceal folding Glock, or like I think they missed out here. They could have just called it a fold a Glock, and I think that would have been like a way better idea. I don't know what the utility of this is in Canada here, because the fact that we can fold a Glock up isn't super useful, but you can fold it. It folds down, and then it's, I don't know, more convenient.
If I was Trevor, I'll pretend I'm him. Mm-hmm. This is stupid. Move on. No, just kidding. Why? The question is why.
Well, if you're in the U.S., it would probably fit into a back pocket better, right? Like if you could do a folded Glock frame with a Glock 19 or a Glock 24 or something like that with a smaller mag, it would fold down. Like this looks silly because it's got a Glock 17 mag in there, and it's humongous, right?
Right. It's got
yeah. The handle like hinges. It's kind of neat.
No.
No, not allowed to have fun.
No,
fun is forbidden.
No. No. So it has a hinge, and the hinge is right where the trigger guard is.
Yeah. I'm showing this on the feed, by the way. You can't see it, but I'm showing it on the feed to everyone.
Okay. Yeah. That's the weak spot.
Yeah. I mean, it's a folding Glock. It's kind of neat. It's got some little hooks in there, so I imagine and the trigger guard is real weird looking.
Yeah.
It's got a flat screw in there that kind of looks like it should like be on a tractor. But
I know. Spencer, your mission is to buy one of these and try it out. Let us know.
Yeah. Oh, another Facebook link here. Let me see if I can pull this one open.
Do we want to do this one right now?
There we go.
Can we have a drum roll?
It's Mackie Defense new spacey. What do you want to call that thing? Space AR. It's got angles and stuff on it. It's all angly. It's futuristic. It's like the SLR, but space.
Yeah, it is.
Space SLR. Space LR.
Space LR.
I should be in marketing. I'm good at naming stuff. That's a space.
You
LR.
are in marketing. So Adriel has this link. Oh.
Yeah, I've got it up, and they can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to actually answer a bunch of questions before being added to this group, but it looks pretty cool.
They have it on Instagram too, if you want to see it without answering the questions.
I haven't gone into the group, obviously, because I don't have time to answer the questions right now, but how much is this going to be? Do they have a retail price on it?
Nah, there's no pricing or weight or anything like that on there. Just some renders. I am playing the renders for the people who are on the live feed so that they can see it. It's like rotating around. It's just imagine space, and you've got it. Space.
It's really cool looking. I don't think it's horrible at all. That's my recommendation. It's not horrible looking at all.
Wow, what What a glowing recommendation from Kelly. Yeah, it's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have a date as well when this one is available?
I did not see a date or anything like that on there.
Adriel.
No.
Date and price.
No, this is like super early. Take a
Yeah.
look at these renders. It looks really sexy.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I think they're reducing the weight on it, so it should be a lighter upper and lower.
Looks like it's pared down a little bit. Yeah. All right. We'll have to shoot Trevor's because we know he's getting one.
I should get one. Let's see here.
You know what? You should review one
Hmm.
because that's what you do.
Yes, I do them things there. The next one we have here, Iron Guns is bringing in the GSG-16. I just saw this one. There we go.
$305.
300 buckaroonies US. Now, this is kind of funny. Did you know that they had a version of this that was the MP5, and that
Right.
one was prohibited as an MP5 variant. Did you know this?
Right. Yeah.
I did not know this. I knew about the Blaze. I didn't know about the MP5 one.
Yeah. This one has a telescoping
Yeah.
stock.
Yeah.
What is that on the front? Is that
The suppressor looking thing? It's
Yeah.
probably just a barrel shroud.
okay?
So
'Cause it's
because
still
otherwise it'll look
looking-
weird, right? Otherwise you'll have a barrel that sticks way out the front, whereas an
It still
MP5 should be just past the front sights there, right?
Yeah.
So
Still looks weird.
yeah, it kind of looks like an MP5, kind
Yeah.
of if you squint a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, it looks neat. I don't know. Some guys like I like that we're getting
Different.
firearms that look like other firearms, like the MP40 and that kind of thing.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
neat. Yeah.
So it has the AR safety.
Kinda. I think it's exactly the same as this one here in terms of like the safety and all that kind of stuff. So it's got like the bit like huge old. Oh, let me swap screens. Yeah, it's got like a huge
Yep.
safety right there. Very clear what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's plastic.
Yep.
Wait,
Another plastic.
this is like a really light gun. It's a lot lighter than it looks like it's gonna be. Let's see. Today there's no main topic. We're just kind of doing catch up, but I think we're gonna have one tomorrow or next week, not tomorrow.
Next week. I'm not here tomorrow, so you're on your own if we're doing tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yep.
I don't think
It's-
I'm gonna do a show tomorrow.
Okay, it's next week, everybody.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll have Matthew and Trevor and Random Dave as well.
Cool. YouTube questions. I didn't really see a lot on there. There's a little bit of discussion about Bolt versus. Maybe we can dive in on that. Bolt versus Semi for Maple Seed.
Yep. So we've seen predominantly semi, and of that, it's mainly 1022s. Reason is because it's just like Lego. You can change it out, switch it out. People like semis because you're not having to deal with the running a bolt. It
Mhm.
takes more time, more skill. You break your MPOA, as Trevor's talked about previously, 2 weeks ago, I think it was. So people mainly use semis, and we recommend that they use semis. And the reason is because they can concentrate on basically learning the fundamentals, getting those down pat, and then you can switch over to your bolt action.
There's a lot to learn, and trying to fit the learning and the bolt during the timed stages is
It's
a lot
a lot
to think about. Yeah.
Right. For bolt action, the one that we see the most on the line is the Savage Mark II.
Mhm.
And that's about it. We see some Marlins, we see some Remingtons, but it's mainly
The Rincos? No, not a lot.
There's one guy. His name is Adriel.
Hmm.
Yeah, he brought one. We've seen Cooeys. Please don't bring your Cooey. Please not. Yeah, some. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the recommendations I have. If will email me or they'll message me, okay, what should I be looking at? All right, what do you want? If you want bolt, here's my recommendations. If you want semi, here are my recommendations. It also depends on the person as well. People are asking about for kids or for females, small females, or also for themselves if they're bigger. Depends on the person's body. But you can always, again, if you go with a 1022, you can change out the stock. It's very easy to change it out to
lots of them out there too.
So anyways, there's other things that are beneficial for it. Everything has a pros and con. So with 1022s, your magazine is seated into the rifle and it's flush, and so you don't have to worry about that. But there's other things like, generally it doesn't come with an auto bolt release if it's factory, and you have to do that. It's a recommendation we have for everyone to do. It's one of the first fixes. But
another thing I noticed with people with the 1022s is that the magazine, yes, it fits flush in there, so you can do that palm shelf really nicely. But when you try to get them out, and the rifle's not fully vertical, they don't come out. You need gravity to work, and if gravity doesn't work, nothing works. It's not coming out. So
that's one of the things we recommend people do as well. Use gravity. Why are you fighting it? Use gravity. You know, every rifle has a pro. Every rifle has a con.
Norinco bolt action has no cons. It is exactly what you need.
Yes.
No downsides.
Here's somebody who's been able to practice that, and you run it like, what is it? Snot on a, I don't know.
It's not a factory gun either. I've applied a little bit of gunsmithing to it to make it work better.
Yeah. More better.
Much more better.
Yep.
I think that's.
There's been lots of talk about that, but other than that, not much. Yeah.
Cool. All right, we'll head on to listener feedback. Listener feedback is brought to you by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, and Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. We just have one piece in here. I'll read it, and you want to comment on it?
We can both discuss it because he's asking about shotguns.
Dear Slamfire, I have a few shotgun questions. Do you have an opinion on the Remington V3? Also, okay, first, opinion of the V3?
Yeah.
What's your opinion of it?
I don't have one. You have one, don't you?
No, I don't have one. They're actually fairly new. They're a little bit more inexpensive, I believe, than the Versamax. But otherwise very, very similar. There's something that's happening, like some firearms manufacturers these days are releasing lots of new versions of firearms rather than just making the same firearm for like decades at a time. Like the Versamax is not an old shot. It's a very new shotgun.
Right.
And yet Remington's already coming out with new shotguns that are kind of in the same space as it.
But they just change it or tweak it just a bit.
Yeah, and in ways that aren't like, I don't know, don't seem that substantial. Yeah.
It's kind of like Glocks.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, the V3s are 3-inch only, so they don't do 3.5, which I believe all the Versamaxes do. But they do the same trick with like the ports and covering it and whatnot. So I don't know why.
Now, is he asking about the Remington V3 because he's seriously considering it, and also because of the cost option?
Ooh, I don't know. Let's read on.
Okay.
Maybe we'll get a clue. Also, what other pump or semi-automatic shotgun would you suggest, considering it will be used mostly for informal clay shooting 5 or 6 times a year, and a weekend or two of November grouse or rabbit hunting in a fairly dense eastern Canadian woodland? So there's snow fairly often. So if it's a semi-auto, reliability with light loads is important. It needs to have a simple field strip procedure, Since I hunt in cold weather, I field strip my guns at the end of every hunting day and let all the parts heat up and wipe the moisture off before assembly. And he puts in brackets there, am I being too paranoid about rust? Not if you have a Remington. That's just the right amount of paranoia for a Remington shotgun and rust. Maybe even a little bit more. Maybe spray a little bit of oil there. Some other requirements. I actually like that he's got a nice list of requirements here. I'd rather carry a heavy shotgun that has less felt recoil than a light one. It has to be 12 gauge. Interchangeable chokes are a must. I prefer a safety on the rear of the receiver, but it's not a deal breaker. My budget is Remington V3, so $1,100 or lower, preferably lower. Many thanks for your wisdom. Keep up the great work, Jay.
So what do you think? It has to have interchangeable chokes?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too, just to be more flexible. Either that, or what about, it doesn't really match his field strip procedure. And this might be me recommending something because I like it, not because it's a good recommendation for him.
Well, what is it?
What about one of those over-unders that Tradex has? None of the shot he needs is 3 inch or 3.5 inch. He's doing clays, rabbits, and grouse. That is all lightweight stuff. 2 3/4, maybe some number 4s if you want to get crazy, but mostly 7.5 or 8 for your trap and that kind of thing. No steel, all lead shot, right? An over-under or a side-by-side from Tradex. They've got some of those used European ones for right around $300-400, and you get 2 chokes with those because the upper and lower will be a different choke, and it'll be 12 gauge, and felt recoil will be it'll be there. The field strip though, not simple. Like to get into the trigger mechanism, it's not going to happen. But like in my opinion, you would just spray that stuff down with some oil, and the parts you would field strip would be take the barrel and the fore end off and that kind of thing, right? Yeah.
What was the one that the Benelli knockoff that?
Nah, I couldn't recommend a Benelli knockoff at this point because, well,
I have a Benelli. I like it.
Which one, the Nova?
Yeah.
The Nova's a good shotgun. If he wants a good pump shotgun, the Benelli Nova is fantastic.
Right.
Feels great, good quality.
Yep, 3.5. What? Go ahead.
Yeah, don't get like a 870 Express because the finish on them is not good. And like if you have rust problems where you hunt, you're going to get rust on there. But like a Nova or maybe like an SXP or there's lots of options. There's lots of options in shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah. That I do. I have a couple of actual shotguns, but I really like the Benelli Nova because it is so like it takes any load and it's so easy to use.
Yeah,
and
the
it is
pump
it is pump, and it's heavy. So
the pump on it is really nice to use. It's not a stiff, janky kind of a pump action. It's super smooth on those things.
And it's super easy to break down as well.
Maybe that's the recommendation. Does yours come with chokes?
Nope, you have to get them. Yeah.
Maybe if you bought used, you could get one that came with it.
Yeah, I bought mine used. It didn't. But I was very happy. I got a great deal. Thank you, Jason Bell. So,
yeah.
But I really, really like it, and it's super easy to use. I've actually had, an 8-year-old using it. Yeah, I had to stand behind them and hold it. And 12-year-olds and women. It's a little bigger, a little larger, but it is super reliable and easy to use.
I find it hilarious having like 8-year-olds shoot shotguns. It doesn't. You just got to make sure their shoulders are right against it, and it'll send them for a ride.
Yeah.
Cool.
Target load.
Yeah.
Something a little. It cycles reliably.
And is a high quality shotgun for that price point. Like $1,000 is not a lot to spend on a semi-auto shotgun, but it is a lot to spend on a pump action shotgun. So you could get like the premier Benelli pump for far less than $1,000.
Yeah, I got mine for like $700.
Hmm.
It was used. It was. I don't think it was really ever used, but it was used. Yeah, you should be able to find one at a really really good deal.
Hmm.
Yep.
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 Oh,
Oh, what?
I got an idea.
What?
How was the teardown on those? Not bad. Hmm.
What?
I was thinking about, what is that? You'd be able to get some of these, and they're very soft shooting. Remington's got another semi-auto, 1100. Remington 1100. You'd be able to get a used Remington 1100. They're very popular in trap because they're soft shooting. They're a semi-auto. They're older. They're a little bit heavy, but you could get like a classy old wood Remington 1100. And since like one of the older ones, because they got like really nice finishes on them, or nicer than what you get with an Express or something like that, and it would do all the 2 3/4 stuff fine. Yeah. Now those come with different barrels for different shell sizes. There's like a 3-inch and there's a 2 3/4. So you'd want a Remington 1100 that was made for 2 3/4 shells. But those are really soft cycling, really nice. And far less than $1,000. So there's another option. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. If you'd like to email the show and ask us what shotgun to buy, email us at slamfireradio@gmail.com.
Or better yet, if they have recommendations, email.
Yeah. If we got that wrong, if we got the recommendation wrong, email in. Tell us.
Adriel, remember at the beginning of the show when you said I hate people when they're talking about things they don't know?
Oh yeah, that's us right now. Yeah. How much shotgun rabbit hunting do you do, Kelly?
I do 0 shotgun rabbit hunting.
I only shoot rabbits with 22s, so I'm also the wrong person to ask.
But we both have shotguns. I have a couple of them.
Even grouse. I shoot my grouse with 22s too. I don't use a shotgun. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
You see them and you're like, oh, there's one over there, and you walk so that you're like 25 yards and you shoot him in the head.
What's
Done.
Trevor been using with the red dot now?
Oh, that Typhoon.
Oh, the Typhoon with a red
They're
dot.
about $1,000.
Yeah.
If you want to get definitely a talking to with the DNR, roll around the woods with the Typhoon F12 with a red dot on it. Yeah. There's lots of different options.
And it comes with different chokes. Hey.
It does come with different chokes, or a door breacher, or a muzzle brake on the front. Yeah, the real pokey one that you get. That's handy for rabbits. Yeah.
Now we're just getting silly.
Probably took this too far. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for pulling us back, Kelly. If you'd like to review us, don't talk about the shotgun side view that we just went on there, but review us on those podcast apps like iTunes and Stitcher and Stitch Tunes and Podbean and PodTunes and whatever other kind of podcatcher things you got. It helps the show.
Okay, do we really? Do we get any reviews? We get iTunes, and we get Podbean or BeanPod or whatever the hell it is. But that's it. We don't get anything from Stitcher. We don't get anything from Spotify or anything else, do we?
I don't know that I've even looked on Stitcher. I have like the their login for it. I don't know.
Anyways.
Let's see. There is a Stitcher thing for us. There is reviews on there from 5 years ago. Okay, that's a thing. It is a thing for reviews there. We are on Spotify, but I don't think you can review podcasts on Spotify.
But it's cool to listen on there, so thank you.
Yeah.
Add us to your favorite.
Radio on Spotify? Oh, there it is. Yeah. I don't know.
To the person that took the time 5 years ago to write us a review on Stitcher, thank you.
There was multiple. There was 3 on there.
Oops.
All right, shoutouts.
Sure. I don't have any.
I don't have any either. Not this week. Maybe next week.
Maybe.
Patreon supporters. We don't have any new ones for this week, but if you'd like to, head on over to patreon.com/slamfireradio. help us out. We typically throw the money towards video cameras and headsets and hosting and whatnot, so that we can bring the show to you.
I totally lied to you.
Okay. About what? When did you lie?
A shout out. I do have a shout out.
Okay.
I'm allowed to. I can be like Trevor. I can put it in wherever I want. I would like to give a shout out to Tracy Wilson and also to Filthy, because Filthy is pretty freaking amazing. He is helping us out with printing targets. Him and his boss are target suppliers, and they do it at a really, really good cost for us, so that it doesn't break our bank. But he is all the way down in New Brunswick. So we were going to have one of our directors go down to New Brunswick at some point. They were down there anyways and pick up these targets. But Tracy Wilson was at SummerSlam, and she has brought back to Ontario almost all of our targets so that we can have our supply for the fall. So I wanted to give a shout out to her because she's fantastic. It really helped us out, especially with getting some targets that we needed as well. So.
And the target quality that you guys have this year, I don't know if it was last year as well, it's so good. Like, they're really stiff cardboard stock. The ones from when I shot the last qualifier I shot are like a little bit more papery. These new ones are like cardboard. They're stiff. Like it's
yeah, it's 100 weight, so they are providing those at a cut rate cost for us. They're not they're giving us a really, really good deal. I tried to price it out here in Kingston, and yeah, there's no, even if we had to have them shipped from New Brunswick, it would have cost us a lot less to get the targets printed there. And not only that, but the company that Filthy works for, they bring in kids and adults with Down syndrome and challenges as well, and they get them to work in that environment. Basically, they give them jobs. So I think it was a good thing that we decided to keep our targets there being printed.
Yeah. Well, one of the cool things about having like a higher quality target is that your MQT is kind of like it becomes a wall piece, right? Because it's such a nice quality of paper, and it's kind of like a moment in time. It's not just like a crappy paper target. It's a nice quality thing that you can pin up on your wall, and it'll stay nice and crisp.
Yeah, it's easier for us to score as well.
Yeah,
it typically rains at Maple Seeds, but we're able to see what you're actually hitting. Some of the targets when it was raining, especially when it was really raining, there was some.
It gets hard.
It got really hard, especially if the target was disintegrating. So these new ones are fantastic. Yep.
Cool. Where are we at here? You can also support the show by visiting our website and clicking on the links for Cabela's. Please join one or more of our national firearms associations, such as the CCFR. Check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. Like us on Facebook, and we'll see you next week.